well as their best app reviews so far, and why they think these retailers gave them this glowing review. We will also discuss their most difficult experiences where a retailer got frustrated about our product and how they were able to handle them. Okay, so joining us today in the panel is Gelson, who makes everyone smile every day because of his daily memes. Okay, so let's move on to hearing our panelists' experiences where they went above and beyond for their retailers and what motivates them in doing so. Okay, so Gelson, can you go first? Yeah,
Can you hear me?
okay. Yes.
Okay, so thank you. I'll be sharing my screen because I asked permission from Nicole if I can have a slide presentation, a deck or two to show for my part in this panel discussion. So definitely what motivates me as a CSM with regard to rendering quote unquote customer service is the concept of kapwa. Okay, so kapwa. This is a Filipino word. It has no specific equivalent in the English language. I'm not so sure with other languages out there, but in English, this has no direct translation. But the best explanation for this is that you see yourself in another person, or you see the self in others. So why did I start my sharing with this word? It's because this is my daily motivation with regard to rendering customer service. By the way, whenever I share my trainings or seminars with regard to customer service, I always state that I'm not a firm believer with the concepts of quote unquote customer and quote unquote service. Because for me, when you say customer, it's transactional in nature. Meaning you render something and then you expect something in return. So the keyword there is expectation. Whereas if I consider that person not as a customer but as a kapwa or someone like me, then definitely the treatment that I want to receive from another is the same treatment that I extend to that person without expecting anything in return. So with regard to the first question, the experiences that I have had in helping retailers and moving above and beyond the call of being a CSM. So I can think of two examples. Number one, Try Blue. They have this very difficult advocate to deal with that even the retailer himself is having a hard time dealing with this very, shall we say, very vocal Karen customer of theirs. Okay, so that's why even the retailer was very appreciative, because every time the advocate sends us an email and then I receive it and then I reply to her as patiently as I can, I always make it a point to CC the retailer. And it's quite appealing to me, and I find it heartwarming that in one email the retailer Joni was very appreciative of the efforts and told me actually that he was very appreciative of how I dealt or how I deal with their difficult client or customer, even if they themselves are having a hard time reining her in, so to speak. So that for me is a very big thing. And then number two, there's this, and Chris is very familiar with this retailer, Narwhal. Okay, so I have had a discussion, a lengthy discussion on chat with Narwhal before. And then, to cut the long story short, they asked for help with regard to marketing copies or coming up with marketing copies. So it's no longer a part of my responsibility as a CSM, but just the same, since they asked for help, I gave them a sample or two of marketing copies that I made up for their company or their products. These are my answers rather for the first question.
Thank you so much for your insights, Gelson.